Good morning, Wade. How are you today? I hope you're doing well, friend. What is this? Okay. I hope you're doing good. Take my allergy pill. All right. So, good morning, everyone. If you are watching the replay, I'm glad you're here. Today is Tuesday, January the 13th. It is 9 a.m. Central Time. I am live. If it is after 11 a.m. on the same day, I am probably not live. Please be careful that you check that before you send any money to me, okay? Just keep that in mind. Hello, Kentucky Cowboy, and welcome in. All right. So I am excited that you guys are here today. We had a timeline jump on the Schumann. Plenty of stuff going on. I had that very strong message come through this morning about the chip on our shoulder and how it holds us down much more than we think it does. So I'm excited to be here with you and offer you readings. These are general, energetic, and oracle card readings. Okay. Each reading is $25 US. It is payable through Venmo or PayPal. You can search for Consciously Erin on either platform, or if you go to the description of this video, my Linktree link is in there. You can copy and paste that into your browser. It'll take you directly there. Something for you guys to remember is that everybody can go back and rewatch their reading on my channel for free later. So that's one of the advantages to having a reading on YouTube is you have that recording that you can go back to and get even more from the reading. I do have a finite list. I only do a certain number of readings per day because it drains my energy if I do any more, and we don't want to do that. If you have a specific question that you want me to try to answer, I will do my best. But what I'm going to tell you is, while I'm happy to try to do that for you, you are severely limiting the amount of information that you could potentially get when you focus in on one small issue, because what you think you need to know and what you actually need to know may not be the same thing. That said, it's your reading, you're paying for it. You can get pretty much whatever you want. I will not, under any circumstances, read anyone else's energy without their permission. That means people you're interested in, people you're worried about. It's not my job. I am not going to read your boss's energy or the guy down the street or the lady that you work with. It's not my job, and I will not do that. So if that's your intention, I encourage you to ask yourself why it's so important to you that you know what's going on with them, what's going on with you that could need some attention. Okay. When I am in my channel, I cannot control the speed at which I speak. So keep that in mind, right? That's why the replay can be incredibly helpful. Just FYI. I am ready to get started when you guys are ready to get started. Good morning, Silver Caresses. Good morning. Hello, Suze8884 from Holland. Hello, Sandy Miller. Yes. If you don't mind, you guys, if you can go out and give a thumbs up to the video, it does help quite a bit. So it helps me out. Good morning, Whitney. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Lauren. Thank you. I'm so glad that you were able to hear the message. Lakeside Laura, I would love to do a reading for you. Readings are $25. Venmo, PayPal are both available to you. All you have to do is send that payment. You go on the list. Everyone, I go in order of the list. Typically, the list fills up rather quickly. Once one person goes, then everybody starts to get on the list. I am telling you right now, I go in order of this list. You need to be in the room at the time of your reading. If I call your name and call your name and call your name, you're not there, then what's going to happen is I'm going to have to move on from that. Okay. Alana, I see you. Good morning. Good morning. So Alana is first up on the list. I'm excited, friend. Say hello for me, Alana. I know you're in here. Wade, yes. Thank you so much, Wade. So glad to see you. Good morning. Just want to let you guys know, I get your emails. I get a lot of emails, and I get them and I read them. My life is incredibly chaotic at the moment. As you can see, I am in the middle of moving. So I have a lot going on. I promise you, I read your emails. I may not respond to you, but it doesn't mean I didn't read it. So please don't be offended by that. That just happens to be how it tends to work for me. Francesca, I see you. I love that name. Ooh, that's spicy. That's got some spice on it. That name came with some spice. All right. I like it. I like it. All right. Melissa, I may not be able to see you. I don't know why, but I'm going to assume, Melissa, you don't have to send me $1 when it's your turn. Let's just establish that I know you're here. And so I will just focus in on you here. And I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how to fix it. I went in there and I didn't, somebody told me how to do it and I don't remember who it was or how to do it. And I forgot. So, all right. Alana. All right. Yes, please. When you are looking me up on Venmo or PayPal, you want to look up Consciously Erin. If you look up Erin Brown, what happens is you send it to my private account. I am not logged into that account. I do not get notifications for that account typically when I'm on live. So if you send a payment there, I may not see it. Please send it to Consciously Erin. Okay. It is best to use the link I give you, but however works. All right. Alana. Come on down, Pow Mom of Boys. Hello, Pow. Good morning. Good morning. There you are, Alana. I see you. Pink hearts. I got you. Pin. This is so handy that I can pin this. I hope you guys like this format. When I move and I'm setting up my new office, I'm going to set it up so I can stream like this. It's so much more comfortable for me than trying to focus on my tiny little iPad. So much better. My guys are so smart. Okay. Alana, here we go. Do me a favor, friend. Take a nice big deep breath in all the way down. Release. Drop your shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. Alana, there's a lot of yellow coming up for me with your energy. I know you and I just had a reading. I'm going to be honest. I was sitting here going, what was I have no idea. I'm not even going to try to pretend. But there's a lot of yellow coming up for your energy, which is really encouraging for me. Yellow is the color of the solar plexus. It's also the seat of how you see yourself in the world. Your self-confidence feels like it's gotten a boost recently for a good reason. They're showing me for a good reason. I'm getting round of applause about something as if you accomplished some goal that you had. And I can't tell if this is a physical outside of self goal or an internal goal because it feels very similar. There's a sense of accomplishment. Jamie, Monica and Jamie, I see both of you, friends. There's a sense of accomplishment to this and it feels really good. Like you've turned the corner, they're saying, turn the corner on something. This is fueling your solar plexus. That's a good place to get fuel, friend. This is how you see yourself, the home of your creativity. All of that stuff is housed within this place. That is very encouraging moving forward, I want to say. Pow, I see you. I will update my list, I promise. It looks good. The yellow is the dominant color. It is not the only color in your energy. I don't feel that you're out of balance. I will tell you that your energy system will shift to provide support to the chakra or area that needs it the most in the moment. You have a lot of energy shifted down into that solar plexus area. Sometimes that can give us physical symptoms like a little bit of an upset stomach, sometimes heartburn. I get heartburn a lot with that, but I also have a lot of ideas running through me. You know, it's just part of your biosystem sort of readjusting to stuff, and I wouldn't be too concerned about it unless it continues. However, feeding your creativity at this moment feels like a really, really good idea, okay? All right, so it's kind of hard for me to show you guys the cards like I normally do. So I might just, I'm going to do my best, all right? So Alana, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. First card out of the deck for you, victory, friend. This is confirmation of what I've just said. They would tell me this brings with it a sense of stability, right? Renee, I see you. Brings with it a sense of stability. King of Pentacles comes forward to say, friend, I've got your back. It's not just about money, though. It's about having a feeling of being on stable ground. This is what is being that you have brought forward through whatever it was that you've reached, this accomplishment that you've recently had. My guides say, continue doing a good job of staying out of your head. This means not allowing your outside environment to affect your inside weather. Exactly what we talked about earlier. Laura, I see you in the message, right? My guides tell me this is your time of inner peace. You've established this. So now that you've established this, there is room in your energy to receive this truth, right? This truth about self. It's kind of like pulling the curtains back and seeing everything beyond and going, oh, there is a Wizard of Oz. Okay, I get it. I'm more in control. Friend, this is the death card, the transition, the card we all love, the one that says the old version's dying away and a new version's coming forward. Again, they're telling me this is a result of alignment between you and your higher self, giving you the keys to the path that you've been looking for. Again, feels very much anchored in a feeling of creativity, solar plexus, turning the corner on something that I was working on that feels like a goal of some kind. There's a lot of ownership and accomplishment in this feeling. As you move forward, they're reminding you to never stop doing your introspection, because it is through that introspection that you continue to grow. This feels like a sort of round of applause for the way you've established your practices and what you're doing with it and the slow unfolding of your path. I don't feel like you're rushing anything. It feels very natural and good as you move forward. So you want to just keep going with that, okay? Whew. All right, Alana, thank you very much, friend. I appreciate it. I'm going to unpin you here. Thank you. I hope it was helpful. I really do. When I'm channeling you guys, I promise you, I'm not ignoring your comments. If I look at your comments, I'm going to get so drawn out of my channel, I have to leave it. I do have several mods in the room, like Mom, Chrissy, and Meta are all mods. They can answer any question you have. I promise you, I am not ignoring you. It's just for the person I'm reading for, I have to focus, right? So let's update the list. There is plenty of room on the list. Do not worry. I am here for until 11 o'clock. So we have time. You just have to be patient. Okay. So Francesca is up next. Yeah. Thank you, Alana. Francesca is up next. And then Melissa, Monica, Jamie, Powell, Renee, and Laura. That is the list so far. Remember, you need to be in the room when it's time for your reading. When I call your name, because display names may not match the name that you sent, you have to, I would really prefer if you said, hi, it's me, and the name that you sent it under, your given name or whatever, just so it's easy for me to identify. I have done readings incorrectly to the wrong person before, so I'm trying to prevent that. All right. Do me a favor, everybody, go out and hit that like button if you have not done that already. If you're on the replay, I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 until 11 a.m. Central Time. I do offer private sessions, very limited private sessions right now, but they are available through my website. All right. Hi, Francesca. I see you. Izzy. I love it. Do you prefer Francesca or do you prefer Izzy? Is there, how would you prefer to be referred to? I feel like that's hard to say. How do you prefer to be referred to? Izzy. Got it. All right, Izzy. I am so excited to read for you. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I appreciate you. I'm going to write that down so I don't forget. All right. All right. All right. Hello, Pamela. All right, Izzy, here we go. Do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down. Release. Drop your shoulders, and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So your energy is a lot. It's different. It's not better. It's not worse. Just very different in the way I'm perceiving it. There's a lot of orange in your energy. This is the very first color I'm picking up on. Orange is the color of the sacral chakra. This is the home to all the roles that we wear, name tags that we wear, and the roles that we fulfill, the relationships that are the result of that. Friend, sister, partner, worker, all of these things carry weight in our energy. What my guides are showing me is that the ending of the year of the snake is important. There's a shedding that's happening in your physical environment, in your emotional environment, in your spiritual environment, like a snake shedding its skin in order to grow. This is bringing up what feels like, I don't know if it's conflict, but maybe a little resistance in the sacral chakra as I'm transitioning roles of some kind. And I feel as though for me, reflecting you, it feels like this is a good transition. I feel like the resistance is coming from somewhere outside of me, but it has a lot of weight in me. So sometimes that's, and I'm not saying this is exactly what it is, but sometimes what that looks like is deciding you're going to move across the country at the drop of a hat, and the people that you know around you are maybe not super excited about it because they don't understand why, and they don't understand, they take it as a personal affront. No. Something like this, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it has this feeling of slowing the momentum down because it's getting a lot of weight. Something I would encourage you to remember is people can only meet you where they are. And sometimes when someone feels like they're very stuck, if you're making moves in your life to move forward, it can feel, I don't know a good word, intimidating to that person. Like they don't know how to reflect that. You know what I mean? Because to where they are, they feel very stuck. So again, there's this clear feeling of shedding of something, of moving beyond something, that the end of the year of the snake is very important. There's a lot of feeling of that sacral chakra in there that feels very important as well. All right. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Izzy, my guides are saying that there's swift action coming forward. This is the feeling of things starting to change rather quickly in your space, and it's bringing up a feeling of inner conflict. My guides are acknowledging this and asking you to have the discipline to stay steady in the choice that you've made for yourself, or the choices that you are making for yourself, because this is where you have found a better sense of alignment and helps you feel better. My guides are acknowledging that there may be an attempt to manipulate you, regardless of the intention, into staying or not doing whatever this decision that you have made, or doing something that helps someone else feel better about. I don't know. There's some feeling of wanting to get you to change your mind. My guides are saying, don't do that. Don't let someone talk you out of it. This is leading to a feeling of joyous occasions, celebration, coming home, a feeling of reliability, having what you need when you need it, and feeling stable on your feet. There is a feeling of resolution with this. Like all the good feels are tied up in this. They also tell me that this is you listening to your intuition and finally balancing out some sort of karmic lesson that you've been wrestling with for a while. You know you have a strong connection to your crown, so they're asking you to allow yourself to actually listen to the advice that's being offered to you by this crown. You know how strong it is. Why do you talk yourself out of it? Someone else's inability to see the benefit or potential behind the decisions you're making is quite literally not your problem. Well, you should obviously consider people and not just throw things away. I am saying, if it's something that you feel genuinely helps you become a better person or a better version of you, sometimes we have to make difficult choices. And while I don't know what it is, it feels like it wasn't a hard choice for you, but it's a hard choice for someone else to acknowledge or go with. And I don't know a better way to explain it than that. Izzy, thank you very much, friend. I appreciate it. I'm going to unpin your message. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that was helpful, friend. It looks like I'm not, like, I feel like I don't know where to look. My camera's here, like literally here. My messages are way over here. My camera is flipped. Like I'm so turned around. So turned around. Thank you, Izzy. I appreciate it. All right. Melissa, you're next. And I know you're here. I don't know what's going on and why I can't see you. I will try to remember to figure it out. I can't make that promise right now, but I know you're here. So Melissa, I am excited to read for you. Thank you, friend, for the opportunity to be here with you. Thank you for your time, your patience, and your energy. Everybody in the room, if you haven't gone out and liked the video, please do that. All right. Melissa, where is she? There she is. All right. All right, Melissa, do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. So honestly, Melissa, your energy looks good. I feel like you have your bottom heavy. There's this feeling of a lot of activity in the bottom half of your energy, your root, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. There's a lot of energy movement here. Not that there isn't movement in the upper half of your chakras, but the lower half of your chakras is getting a lot of attention right now, as if drawing energy to prepare. This doesn't mean something bad is going to happen. It also happens right before an expansion, right? The charging of the battery before you go on a hike, that kind of thing. During times like this, I personally often feel like I want to cocoon. I want to be quiet. I don't want to go out and do things. That's normal for me. I don't know how other people handle it, but it's normal for me. I have to say, I really genuinely feel like it's gathering strength for some sort of change that's going to require a lot of expansion. So it's building or collecting up the energy. So when the expansion happens, it doesn't deplete itself. This is the root, right? Your sacral chakra feels involved in this. So there must be some sort of change in the way you view some of the roles that you fulfill. But this doesn't feel like eminent today. Oh my gosh, this is happening. This feels like I'm preparing for something that's just kind of starting to organize itself. It doesn't have any sense of urgency behind it. It doesn't have any sense of hurry up and get this done, or I need to get ready. I just feel like it's kind of gathering. It's like if you were going to build the specific images I'm getting is if you were going to build a birdhouse, you wouldn't just, you have to get all the material together and you have to cut the wood and you have to get the paint and all the stuff. And then you start doing it, right? And there's this feeling of now you're gathering the pieces together for a change that's coming that feels very root centered. The change, again, I'm not getting a lot on the change. I'm simply getting the feeling of like shaking my root a little bit. But that's what progress looks like, right? We have to, in order to grow, we have to expand the base on which we stand. Otherwise, the tree topples. And I kind of feel like that's where it is. I don't know that there's anything you need to change. I don't think there's anything you need to do. I think just taking care of yourself energetically is going to be incredibly helpful. Okay. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said, Melissa. My guides want to acknowledge that you are coming into a time of progress. They're asking you to continue to reach for your inspiration to the best of your ability, even though some things outside of you may feel a little dissentive, like conflict going on outside of you. Remember, you cannot focus on somebody else's circus and expect your stuff to be calm, right? They're asking you to keep yourself to the best of your ability in as much alignment as you can, meaning don't get caught up in other people's hot mess because the wheel of fortune has started to spin around and face in your direction. Again, the feeling of drawing the tools to me for a change that's upcoming. My guides are asking you, don't get in your head about this. Don't start looking for things. Don't do that to yourself. For your dreams and desires, and that will bring to you the flow of energy that you are wanting to experience. There's confirmation that this is very much a feeling of expansion coming forward in your energy, and they're asking you to let go of any fear of any changes that you may have, recognizing that just because it's unknown doesn't mean it's scary. This is a death card telling you that the old version is dying away and a new version is coming forward. Again, confirmation that you are pulling together all the tools you need to help yourself in whatever change this is that's coming forward. I still feel like that change is far off. Like, I don't know how far, but not close. Okay. It is, however, the result of a physical manifestation that you have been reaching for. So for me, that's a signal of something that feels good in your energy. I'm not going to get a whole lot of information on tower moments because it's like telling before the car crash happens and you brace up 6 months. I mean, it's not helpful. So I typically don't do that. So when I get information like this, usually it's around a good expansion or an expansion that you perceive as good. I'm not here to judge it, but you perceive it as good. So, Melissa, thank you very much. I know you're in here. I appreciate you. I hope it was helpful. Thank you. Thank you. M's in a row, friends. That is a confirmation from our guides that we are having a great day today. It's going to be aligned and flow with the energy of the sun, friends. It's a lovely, lovely day, even though it's cloudy where I am. It's okay. Monica, you are next, like a mom. Thank you so much for managing the room. I appreciate it. Good morning, Spidey. What's up? Hi, Monica. Please, you guys, Monica, I see you, but please do me a favor. When you respond, say, hi, it's me and your name, just so I can 100% know I have the correct person. Okay. Please remember that. I got you though, Monica. All right. I'm going to update the list real quick here. Monica's up next, then Jamie, Powell, Renee, Laura, and Pam. I do have plenty of room on the list, so keep that in mind. Hopefully I turned off the ads. Someone said I had ads on my last live stream. I think I turned that off. I haven't heard any complaints, so I think I did that. Yay for me. I figured something out. All right, Monica, here we go. Do me a favor, take a nice big deep breath in all the way down your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders. Please give me permission to have access to your energy. Woo, I get very like, ooh, your energy is nice and strong, Monica, friend. There's a feeling of doubt, a kernel of doubt that's like a rock in your shoe, friend. For me, when I come into your energy, there's imposter syndrome written all over everything. You have a good, strong connection. I can clearly feel it as soon as I came into the space. There is like I think it looks like, to me, they're showing it like a camera lens. You're not letting enough light in. You could be letting a lot more in. And that's not saying you are bad or doing anything bad. Your imposter syndrome is convincing you for some reason that you are not as connected or you don't receive as much as you actually do. And this is slowing things down because everything is energetic in nature. Frequency matters. And if you're putting out the frequency of, I am unable to do this for whatever belief system you have, then you are going to get results of you are unable to do this, right? That's how law of attraction works. Trust me, your definition and other people's definitions of what your clairs and how you receive looks like is going to be different. You are an individual frequency fingerprint and things have to match your fingerprint. Right? So it's going to manifest and look different for you than for someone else. People get very tangled up in the Google definitions of clairaudience and clairsentience. Friends, hear me when I say this. This universe is built on duality. Your physical environment, your physical 3D is very constructed. There are a lot of harsh borders and sharp edges and clear definitions and labels. Therefore, by law, your metaphysical environment must be 180 degrees different in order to provide balance. So, there are no clear definitions. Teacher and healer are the same thing. They do the same thing in different ways. Clairaudience can be hearing a voice, rarely, but it can be. It can be your voice. It can be music. It can be tones and all kinds. We get tangled up in our definitions from Google. So all this is to say, Monica, that you're being encouraged to let go of some reason that your imposter syndrome is really getting fed. And I don't know what it is. If it's sharing it with someone who's unwilling to hear your message, then stop sharing it with them. You can love people from across the room. You don't have to invite them over to your table. You know what I'm saying? There is a feeling of needing to prioritize your reaction to yourself and stop telling yourself that you're not something that you are. Okay? This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. That sounded like it came out really mean. I'm really sorry. Monica, this is what my guides have to say. They're asking you to do some self-evaluation and to do it quickly because you are literally standing at the head of massive spiritual growth. There is an ineffective team that has been built around you, possibly feeding your imposter syndrome with big, giant spoonfuls, okay? Please be aware that this is a form of manipulation, conscious or otherwise. It is put in place by a capitalist society that wants us to constantly strive for more and feel like we don't have enough. This is what drives innovation in our environment. I am not placing judgment. It is simply a statement of fact. The more you want something better, the more you have innovation, right? However, it also serves to build a massive imposter syndrome in us because we constantly feel like we don't have enough. Okay, so your inner peace is going to be found when you've put resolution to this, when you recognize that you are stronger than you think you are. As you learn to reassess yourself and have a little bit of compassion for who you are and what you are experiencing, you will bring together your chosen family. The people who resonate with the feeling of this is who I am, take it or leave it, right? These are the people who don't need you to validate them, but are here to help facilitate a feeling of validation within you by reflecting your own confidence to you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's really helpful. This helps you see the truth of who you are in the situation you're in and return your inspiration to you. It will also bring with it a sense of stability. King of Pentacles comes forward to say, friend, I've got your back. Stop worrying about money so much. You have to be as generous with yourself as you are with other people, and be nicer when you talk to yourself. Your imposter syndrome showing, pull it up. Monica, thank you very much for allowing me to read for you, friend. I appreciate it. Did you notice the blackout that's on the Earth Beat Schumann resonance chart that shows the previous week? No, I haven't looked at it. I'll have to go check it. Monica, thank you so much for allowing. Thank you. It's been an issue. I get it. Everybody has imposter syndrome. It is impossible in our society, in my opinion, to get all the way away from that because it is fostered within us. So you have to sort of stop wrestling with it and learn to work with it, right? Acknowledging that it's there and then saying, I don't need you today can be really helpful, you know? Jamie, you are up, friend. Come on down and say hello. Jamie is next. Then Pau, Renee, Laura, and Pam. Plenty of room on the list if you would like a reading. I encourage you to come on down. Do me a favor and go out and give a thumbs up to the live if you have not already. Plenty of room for more, Crystal. Yes. Hi, Jamie. I see you. Thank you so much. Perfect. Now I can see you nice and easy. All right, Jamie, I got you. Am I saying that correctly? Is it Jamie? Is it Jaime? Am I saying, I want to make sure I'm being respectful. I'm questioning all of a sudden. I've been calling you Jamie every time. I just want to make sure I'm not being rude in some way. Okay. Jamie. Okay. All right. All right, good. All right, Jamie, here we go. Do me a favor, take a nice big deep breath in and release. Drop your shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. Jamie, your energy is very soft and flowy today. I get this a lot when people are doing a lot of night school. So night school for me, what that is now, backing up just for a hot second, your physical body needs rest. It is physical in nature. It needs time to recycle its energy and all this stuff. Your physical body needs rest. That said, your energetic body does not. And so when your physical body is resting, your energetic body is constantly leaving and coming back, having experiences and coming back. Sometimes these experiences become what I call night school. This is when you are preparing in that state for something that you have forthcoming for you. Okay, Crystal, I see you. That you have forthcoming for you. Often when these dreams are coming forward, it is either a time when you are not remembering any of your dreams, or your dreams are coming through and they don't make any sense, or they're garbled or something, right? Like something feels slightly off about the dreams. And the reason for that is because what you are learning, it's kind of like Neo in the Matrix, right? You're plugged in and you're learning jujitsu, but you don't need to know it right now. And if you were aware of what you're learning in that space, it would change things a little bit because you have free will. So knowing that you're like, if you knew that you were learning jujitsu in your sleep, you'd be like, oh, why do I need to know that? Now you're going to worry about everything about you, right? You see what I'm saying? So oftentimes it's a little scrambled when we're in that state. That said, that also is an indication of expansion and movement forward. You're learning something. This is where your clear, the clear knowing, right? The clear cognizance comes in. This is how we know things in the moment sometimes, because we've already learned it. So when you need the information in the moment, it becomes available to you. You can acknowledge it and utilize it, right? So for me, they're showing me there's a lot of this going on in your space. This sometimes leads to very unrestful feeling sleep, very fitful up and down sleep. For me, because I'm so sensitive to my energy, I wake up all the time at night as I feel my energetic body return. The more sensitive you get to your energy, the more you feel that. So trust me, it's a real thing. And no, before people criticize me, it is not a hot flash. If you've ever had a hot flash, you are well aware of what the F a hot flash feels like. That is not it. Okay. So I just want you to understand that. Jamie, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything I have already said. I just broke my leg and had surgery on Friday. Crazy astral dreams ever since. Absolutely. Here we go, Jamie. My guides are telling me you are being asked to prepare because you're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. Whatever is coming towards you, friend, feels like an expansion of some kind into something that you might be a little bit reluctant at first to embrace. My guides are encouraging you to take this step because it comes out of alignment with your higher self, right? Literally puts you at the beginning of a path, helping you to walk into a state of progress. This is the result of direct manifestation, the work that you have been doing inside. The way it's manifesting, though, feels to me unexpected. I never thought I'd be moving to Florida. I always thought I'd be moving to the West Coast. I'm still moving somewhere warm, right? Like it's something like that. My guides tell me that there is the coming together of two pieces of something that feel like they were not working out, and a feeling of renewal is offered to you. Right now, you stand at the edge of potential, but they're saying don't get too tangled up in your head in trying to chase after and figure out what it is, because your intuition is leading this charge. And if you get too in the way, if your human monkey mind gets too in the way, you know what happens. Okay, we start messing around with stuff and we make a mess, and then we get all mad at ourselves, and then we just are all back at the beginning. So don't do that, especially with a broken leg. You need to rest, friend. Jamie, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and I hope it was helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's update the list. Pow is up next. Pow is next. Then Renee, Laura, Pam, Crystal, and Amy. There are plenty of spots still on the list. I do not take Zelle currently. Once I move and get established in Florida, I will try my best to get it set up so I can accept Zelle. I just can't do it right now because I'm transitioning between states and businesses, and it's a hot freaking mess, and I want zero risk. So, well, thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. I see you, pal, mom of boys. There you are. I love your name. Every time I say your name, it packs a punch. And I know that's such a play on words. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I'm so funny. But we choose our names for a reason. And you had to have known that the name you chose would have resonance before you came here. And for someone like me who's energetically sensitive, that name has that resonance of impact, of making change. And I think it's important for you to recognize that. For you and everyone else, that you choose your name before you come here. That's why it's important that everyone, to the best of their ability, pronounce it properly. It carries a frequency. That is your base resonance. When you close your eyes and plug your ears and hum, that is your base resonance, right? When I hear your name, Pow, it has that sense of change. Pow, like pow, right? All right, here we go, friend. I'm going to go ahead and get started because I think I've already tapped into your energy. My crown is tingling like crazy. There's this sense of wanting you to remember that your name carries weight, that your energy is important. I feel like there's this, I don't know if there was an overwhelming need or a requirement to sort of put myself to the, again, I'm reflected as you, put myself to the side recently. I know that for me, there were a lot of holidays recently, and that can be extremely stressful, especially dealing with people out of state and all kinds of stuff. And there feels like there was a lot of pressure recently in some capacity. I don't know that it was a holiday or family at all. It could have even been something professional, but it feels like there was a weight or a pressure somewhere recently that has just started to release. And my guides are coming in very quickly to remind you, okay, now we're going to get back to the things we were doing that were helping us. I understand that perhaps you had to shift your focus, you had to change things or whatever you had to do, but now you're being encouraged. Okay, that's done. Let's get back to where we were before. Very much is the feeling. Okay. This is not a chastisement or a judgment. This is simply a reminder that your practices are important, that your name carries weight. In order for you to offer the best version of yourself, you have to be able to replenish your energy. You can't pour from an empty cup. right? That's something important to remember. I don't know exactly what's going on, but they're just showing me, they're not necessarily showing me good or bad. They're just showing me it's over. It's done. We're walking away from this. And while we might still be dealing with little pieces of it, we're walking away from it. The feeling here is to rebalance, right? Recenter, rebalance. I think I was being encouraged to talk about the frequency of your name and your base frequency because they want you to get back to that. Remember who you are, feels like it comes to the surface, right? Pal, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. I love it when my guides echo what I say, right? They're saying it's time to get out of your head. There's too much overthinking and stuff going on over something that feels like it had a lot of pressure to it and recently has started to resolve. They're asking you to turn back to those things that feel more positive in your space, even though it may require a little bit more discipline to get back on the wagon, so to speak. My guides tell me that this is where you come back to those family bonds, those feelings of chosen family, having the tools you need to help yourself succeed. This puts you right back at the beginning of a trail as you start out. And they tell me this is a result of you manifesting change. So that's why, let me just rephrase. That's why they want you to get back to this. To me, they're showing me like we're right in the middle, like you're just like moving forward, about to step on the path, and you get diverted. Like you're going to New York and you end up in Jersey. You're like, what the heck? You got to get back in the plane and go back to New York. You get back on the path. You walking away from whatever it was that derailed you. They're telling me that this was a rebalancing of some sort of karmic lesson. Again, it's karma is not about punishment, simply about frequency and alignment and balance. The unveiled truth, whatever you learned through this situation, is going to help you with your belief that you can do better, or that you can seek something better, or that you deserve something better. So allow yourself to sit in this feeling of authenticity that comes forward, and it brings with it a sense of stability. King of Pentacles is not just about money. He's about stability all the way around, right? So again, whatever it is, they got pushed to the side. It feels for a little bit. Things got a little squeezy, a little, the feeling genuinely is like holidays, stressed out, excited, but stressed out. And now it feels like it's working and it's sort of over. Your husband was laid off last week. Okay. So I get that. I get how that throws everything up in the air, but something I want to remind you very lovingly, I'm not trying to reduce your situation, but remember, law of attraction is neutral in nature. This is why they want you to get back to your practices, because when something like this happens, it's very easy to feel off balance, right? And then the momentum gets built up behind that feeling of being off balance. It's not about ignoring the situation, but about finding time when it starts to get the better of you, instead of running down the rabbit hole of pulling yourself out of the situation center, and then go back towards it with a clear mindset. That's how you move forward through this, right? In night school for 2 months. I love it. I love it. Pal, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I hope it was helpful, friend. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Renee, you are up next. Come on down and say hello. Renee is next, then Laura, Pam, Crystal, and Amy. List is still open, you guys. If you would like a reading, I am here for you. $25 Venmo or PayPal are available to you. Hello, Renee. Oh, unpin this one. Just so you guys know, there are many ways in order that you can work with me. This is the most efficient way I can do it on a live, is using my cards. I will 100% tell you, if you schedule a private session with me, it looks nothing like this. The most effective use of time is to bring questions to the session. Write them all down. And almost always we start with one or two, and then all of them end up getting answered through the conversation. Beverly, I see you. So those are available to you. And honestly, that is the best use of time with me, because that's how my energy works best, is through the exchange of information. So if you would like to do that, they are available only through my website. So also, if you get a reading here and you come to a private reading, I am so excited about that. But I promise you, I'm not going to remember your public reading. So you'll have to remind me. But we can talk about it if you want. All right, Renee. I got you. I'm excited for your reading too. All right, here we go. I know it doesn't look like I'm looking at you. I apologize. That's because my chat is off to the side. So, all right, Renee. Here we go. Do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in. Release. Drop your shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. So Renee, when I look at your energy, you have a lot of strings around you. So I am someone who I can't necessarily predict the future, but I can see probability and possibility. And the more probable it becomes, the more clearly I can see it. What this looks like to me is like strings coming out from people as if you were sitting at a table and you have all these strings around you, like strings on a violin. The stronger the string is vibrating, or the wider the string is, the more probable it is. As I look at your energy, you have a lot of strings that are very actively vibrating all at once. It feels to me like you're coming up to a nexus point, a crossroads of some kind where a decision is going to need to be made. I want you to be very careful with this, and not careful with this in the matter of don't put pressure on yourself that doesn't need to be there. Your intuition is strong. It's very well connected. So is your ego, right? And ego is not a bad thing. It's just the part of us that hasn't necessarily evolved with us, and it's doing its job. Its job is to keep the physical body safe. So every time you try to do something outside of your comfort zone, your ego is going to pop its crazy little head up and go, "Are you sure? Are you sure that's not a lion? It kind of looks like a cat, but it might be a lion," one of those things. So there's just this feeling of wanting you to relax into whatever the choice is. One of the tools that I tell people all the time is flip a coin, and before you look at what it is, whatever you hope it is, and that split second, that's your intuition trying to get your attention and pay for you, and get your attention and show you where to go. Okay. This decision does feel like it has a rather large impact. Because of the way my energy works, my guides tend to focus on the lighter side of things, or the light side of things. I don't want to discount the fact that this feels like it may have aspects to it that are difficult to deal with, difficult to get through, that have a lot of contrast. However, whatever the decision is that you make, I need you to trust yourself that you made the right decision, and don't get 3 weeks away and go, "Oh, I need to change my mind because I feel like things are getting hard." What you're doing with this choice is you're changing frequencies to a different version of yourself. And we go through this sort of transitional period where we're growing like this, and everything that's in here has to be shed, right? And that can be a little bit uncomfortable, but where you get on the other side is the goal, right? So you don't want to get caught up in the shedding of information, right? So, Renee, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides are saying in the coming I'd say in the next few months, there is a decision to be made that feels like it comes out of a feeling of hardship. I don't want to make this decision, but I have to make this decision, is a feeling that kind of comes up. They're asking for your patience while you go through this, because you're literally rearranging things in your frequency, in your metaphysical environment, to better facilitate a newer version of you. My guides are acknowledging a feeling of restlessness in your energy, but again, that's because you're closer to where you're going than where you are. There is a reluctance to follow through with the decision that you make, and they're telling me that it's the balancing out of your karma. Please trust yourself and the decision that you make. Don't let someone talk you out of it. Your intuition is strong, and it's trying to lead you to a place of reliability, a place of stability, a place of comfort, a place of feeling safe, right? My guides tell me this is part of your awakening experience, and in the next big step in your awakening experience, it definitely leads to a sense of renewal in your energy. But first, it brings up an inner conflict that needs your attention. They're asking you not to get too stuck in your head, again, when you're making this choice, but to listen. Listen to what your heart is telling you. Listen to what your third eye is telling you. Listen to what that feeling of alignment is trying to tell you, because that's where you're going to find the greatest sense of balance and be able to move forward in your choice confidently towards something that just feels better. I'm trying not to blow in the mic, so I apologize. Renee, thank you very much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I hope it was helpful. I don't want you to be fearful of anything that's happening, because uncomfortable doesn't mean bad. Please keep that in mind. All right. You and everyone else. All right, Laura, you are next. Well, I'm glad. Thank you very much, Renee. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. Laura, you are next. Pam is after that, then Crystal, Amy, and Beverly. I do still have plenty of spots available. If you would like to get on the list, just say hello. Laura, I'm sorry, Laura, you're next. Laura is up. And did I just have a glitch? I don't know what happened. Laura is next. Then Pam, Crystal, Amy, and Beverly. I feel like I said something incorrect. Laura, you're right. I got you. Oops, wrong person. I got you. Lakeside Laura. Here we go. I am excited to read for you, my friend. Thank you for your patience and your time with me. I feel like I glitched a little bit. User JR3JN, I don't know your name. If you sent a payment, I am happy to double check that. My list, Laura, is up now. Then Pam, Crystal, Amy, and Beverly. That is my list. All right, Laura, here we go. One more shuffle for Laura. You guys, I can't wait to get my new cards from Rob. I'm excited. All right, Laura, here we go. Melinda. Sorry, Laura. Melinda, you are on the list, friend. There you are. All right. Here we go, Laura. Do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders and please give me permission to have access to your energy. So, Laura, take this. Listen, I can only tell you what I'm receiving, right? Don't kill the messenger. When I look at your energy, there's a lot of off-planet energy. I know that sounds weird, but I'm just going to try to explain it to you the best way I can. I see everything in terms of frequency, like a dial on a radio. Where the majority of your frequency is focused is not here on this plane, right? This earth school. Now, I'm not looking at just you, Laura. I'm looking at a reflection of your higher self. So while you, Laura, yes, you're here focused in earth. You came here on purpose. It wasn't an accident. Nothing that's happening to you is an accident or punishment. Your higher self, it feels like most of your higher self's frequency is focused in other areas. To me, they're showing me these blue stars. I don't know which star system it is that's blue in nature. I'm sure a quick Google search will tell you it's either the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or something. What I see with the blue, though, is a feeling of flow and water and a sense of here on this planet, the closer, I mean, your name is Lakeside Laura. I'm fully acknowledging that I see that, but I want you to know why, because for me, whatever system you're coming from feels maybe not fully aquatic in nature, but a lot of water. And so being close to water here feels in resonance with a bigger part of yourself. And it's not that it's bad, right? But it's kind of like that feeling of, you have all these brothers and sisters, right? Let's say you have 10 brothers and sisters, and 8 of them live by the ocean, right? And 2 of them live in the mountains, okay? That's not better or worse. But because, especially if you grew up by the ocean, when you go back there more often than not, or when you're around that, it brings you back to the frequency that you associate with all of those other brothers and sisters, as well as the feeling of growing up there. So it brings comfort, I guess, is the best way to explain it. I want you to understand, though, that you're not here on accident. This is fully a choice that you're here. Part of the reason that you're here, they're showing me, is that you help transmute big energy that's coming in. And I think that's part of a job that you have that echoes in multiple incarnations. And I know that sounds weird, but remembering that everything is happening at the same time, time is not linear. I think your higher self has multiple incarnations. We're anchoring in and transmutation of density in a planetary setting is part of your job. Sometimes this feels very robotic in nature, like you're just doing a job. And sometimes it feels more human in nature, but there's more off-world energy than on-world energy for Earth. They keep saying the word Terra in my mind. I've never referred to Earth as Terra. I know there are movies that do that. I have never done that. I don't know where it comes from, but I'm just letting you know. And I know it sounds really weird, but I can only tell you what I can tell you, right? This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides are acknowledging some sort of conflict in your energy, and they're saying because where you are or what you've surrounded yourself with is not in resonance with this larger piece of yourself. They're telling me that it's leading to a sense of stagnation in your energy, and they're asking you to recognize that it's happening. This is the devil on your shoulder, right? If you can recognize that it's happening, you can also recognize that there is a solution. This offers a sense of renewal into your space. They're asking you to listen to your intuition on this and not let anyone talk you out of it, because it seems like that's happened in the past and that has had consequences as to your alignment with the higher self. Again, this feeling of dissonance, something just feels off. It's not bad, it just feels off, and it's because you've gotten away from aligning with this bigger frequency. I don't know how else to, I'm sorry that it's coming out so garbled, but that's what they're giving me. What my guys want you to understand is that your root is trying desperately to find balance. It's almost like you know that you do better in an environment where you can go outside more often or whatever, but you find yourself in an environment where you can't do that. And that's part of what's feeding this feeling of being off balance. Your crown is not the problem. Your connection to source is not the problem. It's the imbalance that you have between your physical and metaphysical self. My guides are asking you to turn your focus back towards you, and this will put you back in alignment with the path that you've been looking for or feel like you need to look for, and also sort of bring to the surface this stronger connection to your third eye. Boy, Laura, I was struggling to get all that information out. That's a frequency I don't tune to very often, so it can be kind of hard for me sometimes to get that out. So hopefully you got that all. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope it was helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Chrissy, good morning. I need a sip of my drink. Excuse me. I'm doing energy work in many ways. It gets tough sometimes, but I'm up for it. Yes, about the devil on my shoulder. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time and your energy today. I appreciate it. Pam, you are next. After Pam is Crystal, Amy, Beverly, and Melinda. If you sent a payment and I have not said your name, please tag one of my mods so that we can figure that out and find that, right? Be careful that you are sending it to ConsciouslyErin, because not only are there imposter accounts, but if you send it to my private account, the one for Erin Brown, I might not see it. So please don't do that. There are plenty of spaces available. Pam is up now. After Pam is Crystal, Amy, Beverly, and Melinda. Remember, you can go back and rewatch this replay on YouTube channel almost immediately as soon as it's done. It is so very helpful to do that. So very helpful to do that. Lady B's Toy Box. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. The Spencer 92. Good morning. I'm looking for Pam. If your name is Pam and you paid for reading, please respond with hi, this is Pam, unless your display name says Pamela. I unfortunately am not that kind of psychic. The more help I get, the better. I want to make sure that I'm always trying to make sure that I am sending readings to the right people, because I have made mistakes. So that's why I always ask. So we are looking for Pamela. Come on down. You are up. Say hello. It's your turn, friend. Pamela, you are up. Do me a favor, friends, and please stay in the room so that when it's your turn, we can get going. I'm excited to be here with you. I don't want to rush, but there are people on the list, and I'm trying to be as respectful as possible with everything. There's a button up here at the end of the live. I'm going to push this button. We're going to see what happens. Hi, Pam. There you are. I gotcha. I know it takes a minute for messages to sometimes reach me, so I'm trying my best. But I got you, Pam. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you. Melinda, I'm so glad that it was helpful for you. Thank you. All right, Pam, here we go. I'm excited to read for you, friend. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you. All right. So Pam, when I look at your energy, I apologize. When I look at your energy, there's this weight on your shoulders that doesn't need to be there. Sorry, I didn't ground. I'm just going to jump right in. My guides are pointing to this weight on the shoulders that is out of place or doesn't need to be there. It has a feeling of worry, perhaps. I'm uncertain of an outcome of some kind. And so I'm worrying about this and putting my attention out there. I want to remind you and everyone in the room how law of attraction works. Law of attraction is neutral itself in nature, but whatever you send out, you're going to get back. So if you are worrying about something, you're going to get reflections of reasons to feel like you need to worry. So there's also a very famous quote, and I say it wrong every time, but the point of the quote is, when you worry, you punish yourself twice, because you're worrying about something that hasn't happened yet, and then you bring it to you, so then it happens, right? So not saying that every bad thing that happens in the world is because of this. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you are worrying about something that is outside of your control, you are not doing yourself or whatever it is you're worrying about any services. The better way to help something like that is to focus on things that feel better about it and build the momentum in that direction. So, for example, I'm going to pick a very silly example. But for example, if you're going on a trip somewhere, instead of worrying about, am I going to have enough money? Am I going to have enough time? Am I going to get robbed? Am I going to have good food? What if I get heartburn? Instead of worrying about that, start thinking about it like, I am so excited to try delicious new food. I am so excited to walk around a city I've never been to. I'm sure you can feel the difference in the energy, right? You want to build energy behind something you want. You can mindfully plan without dragging yourself down the rabbit hole of, oh my God, I'm going to die, right? So also, what you consume on all levels matters. So if you are watching a lot of murdery Dateline shows or listening to a lot of podcasts about that or whatever, you're going to also, it's simply physics. It is entrainment, my friends. The more you foster a sense of some sort of vibration in your energy, the more of that vibration you're going to bring to you. Pam, this feels like something they really want to point out to you because they keep making me talk about it. So again, a feeling of wanting you not to worry about some sort of transition that is either happening now or just about to happen. It's very active in your energy, which tells me it's not very far away. This transition doesn't feel bad. It feels a little unexpected, perhaps, but the unexpected can sometimes feel uncomfortable as you come into sort of alignment with it. Girl, whatever this is, they want to make sure you hear this. All right. Pam, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides are telling me there's something in your energy that you've been avoiding dealing with for quite a while, and it has really caused a sense of instability. This is the change that's coming forward. Your heart has finally lined itself up and said, no, I'm done dealing with this and I'm moving on. That's why this, whatever this is that's happening, it feels a little unexpected. Excuse me. Unexpected, but not bad. Unexpected can feel uncomfortable. Keep that in mind. Jane, I see you. My guides tell me, though, going through this opened you up to walking into a brighter future for yourself. But to get there, you have to confront some things that are not working. These are things, again, that it feels reluctant to deal with. The weight on your shoulder that doesn't need to be there. While you may feel vulnerable for a hot minute while you're going through this, what's happening is you're shedding emotions that no longer resonate with the new version of you. You're shedding this alignment with something that doesn't line up with where you're going. This is the next phase in your awakening experience, my friend, and they're asking you to let go of trying to be too controlling about the experience and get out of your head about it, allowing the feeling of balance in your space to lead you into the renewal that's literally being offered to you through whatever this is. And just to round things off, they want you to understand that this puts your dreams and desires much closer at hand than you think it is. But you have to go through this sort of shedding of something old, letting go of something in your space. Pam, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope it was helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Yes, there are still plenty of spots available. Crystal, you are up next. Got a bad headache today, man. I'll tell you, when the magnetosphere is reduced like it is, I tend to get headaches as well. I don't have one today. Hallelujah. Thank the Lord. But Sometimes I do. I didn't today, which is good. I think the timeline jump is really affecting me, actually. Crystal, you are up. Come on down. Grounding can be helpful if part of the headache is from the magnetosphere. Grounding, like actual grounding, can be incredibly helpful. Putting your feet on the ground or getting into water, taking a bath. I know how weird it sounds, but taking a bath, water's a conductor, Crystal, I got you. Renee has a headache too. Yeah, headaches are no fun. Not my favorite. Not excited about having them. Crystal is up next. Then Amy, Beverly, Melinda, and Jane. That is the list. So, listen, it's here for you. Right? The list is here. If you want a reading, it's from crying, Crystal. All right, don't give me any more information, okay? Please don't give me any more information. All right. Here we go, Crystal. Do me a favor. Take a nice, big, deep breath in all the way down to your toes. And release. Drop those shoulders. And please give me permission to have access to your energy. All right, Crystal. So when I come into your energy, so I just want to be clear with everyone, my guides speak in metaphors and movie scenes. Often the scenery I'm looking at is not physical in nature, but a way to convey information. This is not a view into a past life or anything else. This is a way to convey information. When I come into your space, Crystal, the very first thing I see is the house. The house is the connotation of the comfort zone. As I come into the comfort zone, I'm in the bedroom of the house and I am watching someone packing a suitcase and several boxes. There's a little bit of melancholy to this space, a little bit of sadness, but also a feeling of moving forward. There's these little micro decisions that feel like they're being made. Do I take this? Do I leave this? Do I take this? Do I leave this? And for some reason, they keep showing me like a doll baby. Specifically a Cabbage Patch Kid. I don't know why. I don't have any context for that other than that's what they're showing me is like there's a Cabbage Patch doll sort of on the bed. There's a doll on this bed over here. You can't see it. Kind of, you see her right here? It's kind of like that. I can see a doll on the bed. It feels like a childhood room, like I'm leaving behind something from childhood or something that feels childish, perhaps. Like I said, it's kind of a mixed bag of feelings. The things that come to mind though, when I see the image of someone packing a bag in their comfort zone, this of course is an indication of change. However, I don't yet see you on the porch of the house, which tells me the change isn't over or you're not setting out onto the next phase. That doesn't mean you're not in the in-between. The in-between is when you're deciding what to take with you and what to leave behind on whatever the next steps in your journey are. There's a lot of activity in your root chakra. This can make us feel unstable. It can make us feel like there's no solid ground. It can make us feel sort of caught up in this self-feeding cycle of why aren't things working or something like that. I understand that there must be a lot going on in your space, especially if you have a headache from crying. I don't know. I don't have any insight into that specifically, but what I can tell you is that I am looking at someone who's packing to move out of their comfort zone. And in this liminal space, it can be very difficult because we're trying to decide what we are willing to take and what we're not willing to take with us into whatever comes next. And some of these things can be very near and dear to us, like the doll on the bed. But we also have to recognize that at some point we are growing up and moving on, and that doll on the bed can stay where it is. It doesn't mean that it was bad or indifferent. It just means different, right? Like we're moving beyond. All right. The same thing around the idea of raising our frequency. Friends, if you raise your frequency too high, you're going to turn to liquid. So you don't need to do that. You're moving on the bandwidth. 99.5 and 105.5 are not, one's not better or worse. It's simply different stations producing different things. This is you transitioning from one station to the next. You're just in a little bit of an uncomfortable zone is what they're showing me. Again, I don't know specifically, I have specific insight into what's happening, but it feels like, even though it may be bittersweet in nature, it feels like it has, I hate to say this, but like a good ending to it. I don't know. I feel like a weirdo when I say that sometimes. All right, Crystal, this is what my guides have to say, in addition to everything else I have already said. All right, friend, this is a time for you to do some introspection. You are going on a new path, right? This card is all about looking within to see the truth of who you are and the situation at hand. My guides tell me that whatever it is that you are experiencing is bringing to the surface knowledge of stuff that you need to let go or address, right? This is the idea of choosing what I put in the box and not put in the box. There is a role change coming forward. So again, the idea of moving outside of my comfort zone, getting outside of whatever house you find yourself in. They are acknowledging that things feel very heavy and overwhelming right now, but they're also acknowledging that you're just at the very beginning of a new path that you've created for yourself. It is going to require you to step fully outside of your comfort zone, but it's packed with potential. There's so much good that can come from whatever this is that you're experiencing. They're asking you to reassess the way you look at it and stop telling yourself, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? And start building momentum behind something that feels better. My guides are acknowledging that this may require some actual work from you, but the more focus you put in on how you're feeling, the more easily you'll be able to release these other pieces and move into something that feels better for you. Hello from California. Crystal, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Hello, Witchy Trista. 44 in the chat. I love it. I love it. There's 43 in the chat right now, but I love it. We're about to hit 111 on the clock. I love it. Hello from Northern California. Hi, Dana. So readings are $25, payable Venmo or PayPal. You have to, you can either go into the description of the video and copy and paste the link, or you can simply look me up as ConsciouslyErin. Once payment is received, you go on the list. I go in order of the list. Crystal just had her reading. The best thing about getting a reading here on YouTube, friends, just as a reminder, is that you can go back and watch the replay later. Watching your reading again later always brings clarity. So please watch it again later. Give it some space, but then watch it again. All right. Hello from Texas. All right. Crystal, thank you again very much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you, and I hope it was helpful. We had to put one of our dogs to sleep yesterday. My cards and feelings said same thing. This is the beginning of good. Oh, man. Crystal, my heart breaks for you. I want to share this real quick before I do Amy's reading, because this is something that I was given that was very helpful when my own dog passed. I actually have a tattoo of that dog on my arm. I can't remember where I got this information. I feel like I got this from one of my guides, but someone might have told me this because it's been so long now that I don't know where I heard it, right? But at some point, what I received was that our animals that mean so much to us are physical manifestations of our guides. And they often come to us in times of needing to have unconditional love. So when you look back at your life, you'll often find that you've had a pet or a close animal to you during deep moments of transition. And they come forward willingly to offer you a physical, tangible piece. Unless it's a cat, because no, I'm just kidding. And so when we can recognize that, it can make it even easier to work with their energy or to allow them to help us or whatever. So as they transition out of the physical environment, I try to remind myself that maybe that means that their job is done and I've accomplished what they came to help me with, and it helps me feel good moving forward. So just something I wanted to share. Okay. Thank you very much, friend, for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you. All right, Amy, you are up next. Yeah, I know. It's so hard. I get it. I totally get it. Amy, you are up next. And then Beverly, Melinda, and Jane. Come on down and say hello. Amy, I'm excited to read for you, friend. What have you got going on? Because as soon as I started tapping into your energy, I got to tell you, it was like sparklers going off. So that's going to be fun. Hey, hi, Viber. What's up, Lisa? Flame of Virgo. I love it. So I totally almost said Lisa Flamingo Virgo. No, that's not what I said. All right, Amy, say hello. You are up, friend. You are next. Come on down. I'm excited to read for you. Please remember, readings are available. $25. Venmo and PayPal are available to you. Hello, Darren and Luna. Welcome in. If you are Amy, please make sure you said, hi, it's Amy, so I know who you are. I'm excited to read for you. I know it takes a minute for the comments to get here. I'm tap dancing to the best of my ability right now. But as soon as I said Amy's name, I saw sparklers. So something must be going on in that space. There you are, Amy. I gotcha. You got something going on for sure. I'm just going to dive right in. I'm sure that's okay. We're going to go with that. If you have paid for a reading, we're going to say that you have given me permission to reach your energy, just so I save time from now on. Amy, the first thing I saw when I connected to your energy was sparklers. This tells me that there's explosive movement in your energy. They are also the color of dark blue. This is the color of the third eye. There's a little bit of violet around it as well. This is your crown. There's a lot of activity up here. A lot of activity. The sparklers in the hand is, what they're showing me is the sparklers are drawing in the air. Remember, you used to do that when you were a kid. This feels like the ability to manifest something from here to here in the physical environment, like magic, they're showing me. This doesn't feel like a surprise, not at all. This is something you have genuinely been wanting or working towards. I would be mindful of the way you allow it to manifest. Feels to me like you have kind of a tight definition on what you want it to look like, but if you can loosen that up a little bit, you allow it to come forward a little bit easier, more quickly. This does feel like a very physical facing manifestation, something that you can physically touch with your hands, that you are able to see with your eyeballs and experience with your physical body. I don't know what it is, but it feels large enough and close enough that it's vibrating the heck out of your energy. The sparklers that are being shown to me have a sense of magic to them. So it's almost like something just magically works out. Something that you didn't see working out magically works itself out. That's not to say it won't have complications or need compromise or whatever, but it works out. It's kind of like the idea of I've been looking for a house and looking for a house, but I've told myself it has to be perfect and it has to have everything right. And the minute I let go of the idea that the house has to be perfect, I find a house that is way below the price I wanted to pay. And even though it needs a little bit of TLC, the bathroom could need a little updating, maybe get rid of the carpet. We're not shagging around here anymore. I'm saving so much with the purchase price of the house that I have more than enough to create this, right? So it's something like that. So be careful of your definition. It has a lot of excitement and momentum built up behind it. And I wish I could tell you exactly when. I will tell you it feels closer rather than farther, because the strings around you are vibrating so strong. That makes me feel it's very close. Eminent is a good word, but I hate to use it because I don't know exactly when. So I don't want to mislead you, but that's very much the feeling. All right, Amy, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Now is the time for you to stick to your conviction, my friend, because you are literally bringing forward this manifestation that you've been looking for. You are going to a new horizon. This means somewhere you've never been before. Just because it's unknown doesn't mean it's scary. Remember, all possibility lives in the unknown. Your dreams and desires are much closer at hand than you actually think they are, and that is super exciting for me. My guides want you to understand also that you are leading into a feeling of abundance and stability in your life for yourself and your family, as well as a feeling of joyous occasion and celebration. This is a lesson in self-sufficiency. So whatever this is that you are coming forward, that you have coming forward, is the result of work you've done, not work that's been done for you or someone has imposed upon you. This is about power retainment, you doing this, right? My guides are asking you to continue to listen to your intuition because it is very connected as you are in a good aligned state. Things are going to start to happen very quickly here because you have retained your empowerment, my friend. This is very exciting. That belief that you have in yourself, you deserve it. It's warranted. It's not, it's not that feeling of like entitlement, but the feeling of I've earned this. I've worked hard for this. Dana, I see you. My guides want you to understand that you are working towards a new paradigm, seeing yourself through the rose-colored glasses that you came here to see yourself with, and not getting stuck in the dingy lands of society. Amy, amazing. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm dreaming of a 2-story tiny home. Girl, that's awesome. I hope you find it. I hope it's so beautiful and lovely and exactly the place you want it to be and filled with sunshine and light and love. I hope you find it, friend. There's a song that I love. What is it called? I'm going to tell you guys about it because you should all listen to it. I think it's amazing. It's a great way to start your day. It is called I Hope the Best, and it's by Audrey Callahan and Kenny, Kenni. I Hope the Best. Maybe I'll play it at the very end if I remember. You guys, if you remind me, I can play it. All right, Amy, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Beverly, you are next, friend. Come on down and say hello. Beverly is next, followed by Melinda, Jane, Rebecca, and Dana. That is the list. I do have 4 spots left. So if you want to grab one of those, it's a good time to get that. The list is finite. Once I fulfill all those spots, they are done for the day. I will be back Thursday. I am here 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central. If it is outside of that time and it's not Tuesday or Thursday, I'm not live. Don't send me money. Wait until I'm live or schedule a private session. Reminder, private sessions are completely different than live sessions. Bring a list of questions. That is the best way to go. Best way to go. Beverly, say hello for me, friend. Come on down and say hello. Channels Chair is becoming a monthly thing. Tickets are available already for the February event. It is Friday, February the 20th. Every single ticket gets a video replay and a written summary of everything that happens. So if you are unable to make it, you can still watch it. Send your question to me. I'll address it, right? Beverly, where are you? Beverly is up next, followed by Melinda, Jane, Rebecca, and Dana. Boy, I got to tell you guys, the idea of packing my house is incredibly overwhelming. This room is done because it was my room, and I don't hold on to things. I have no attachment to things. There you are. I got you. My husband, however, has attachment to literally everything he's ever owned in his entire life. And I cleaned out my side of the closet and gave away 6 bags of clothes and stuff. I can only imagine how much he's going to have to give away. Amy, thank you, friend. I appreciate you. All right, here we go, Beverly. I am excited. I see you. I got you, girl. We good. We good. Here we go, Beverly. All right. So, Beverly, when I look at your energy, there is this feeling of observation sort of sitting in the background. I'm trying to get into the space a little bit more clearly here. The image that I'm getting, all right, so remembering, of course, that my guides speak to me in metaphors and movie scenes. So I'm coming into a space that looks like almost like a school dance. It would be in a gymnasium. It's not in a big hall or anything. And I'm focusing in on a young woman who's sitting in a chair kind of by herself. There's a lot of people on the floor dancing. There's a lot of people walking around. But for whatever reason, she is sitting by herself and observing everything. And there's this feeling of recognition in the observation of I am different than, or a registering of I am different than. And it feels to me like whatever it was that happened that pointed this out to you, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a like physical dance that you went to. It could have just been your peers or something, but it feels school age in nature, younger school age. I'd say elementary school. This has colored the way you see things. And I think there's lovingly a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. And that's not to say it's not warranted. It's not to say you didn't earn those feelings, but it is to say that I think that there's some feelings that are coloring the way you look at the world sometimes. And it's not because it's wrong or bad. It's just how we as humans are. I feel so uncomfortable even saying this to you. I feel like I'm struggling with the message, but I have to say this, so I'm sorry. The way you think about people and the undercover stuff that we put our attention on has profound effects in our environment. And you can't look at a situation or a person and wish them well, or wish them bad, poor, or wish them evil, or wish them I can't even say it, damage or harm, and expect to receive different in your energy. It doesn't work that way. And we do this all the time and don't realize that we're doing it. And the worst thing that builds this in us is the news. There's so much outside of our control that it's building up animosity in us towards each other. Why aren't you doing something about it? Because I feel out of control. Friend, that is no way to live your life. And that is a chip on your shoulder. So I don't know specifically what area this is in your life, but my guides are really pushing the idea that you've got to be more aware of where you're leaking your power to, where it's just sort of leaking out towards something that either you don't have any control over or makes you feel powerless or something. And it's coloring a lot of things that you're looking at. By no means am I advocating for anyone to ignore the world and bury their head in the sand, but I am 100% advocating for you to find a way to feel more in balance in your daily life so you don't cause an upset in your own frequency. Beverly, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides are saying that this is kind of like a rebellion for you. So I don't know if you have a religious upbringing or a strict upbringing that made you feel like sacrifice of self on the altar of others was necessary for you to go somewhere or receive something, but that's just not the case. Instead, my guides are acknowledging that this is trickery in your energy, and they're asking you to use this to help you move forward. This may require you to do a bit of searching within yourself so you can see where you're doing this to yourself by focusing on these things. And it's going to require you to turn away from all the chaos around you. I understand that that's difficult. And again, I'm not advocating for anyone to ignore the world, but I am saying you cannot give chaos all of your attention and expect peace in your house. This is going to require some introspection and a feeling of selfishness from you, but giving yourself the compassion to work your way through this is what opens the door for you. Friend, there is a whole new adventure waiting for you. Something is calling you somewhere you have never been before, and you're getting all the signs that it's there. But you have to stop looking at the world through the lens of helplessness, for lack of a better word. This is the Fool saying you're ready to start the journey. The Spiritual Growth card saying you're ready to start your journey. The Determination card saying you're the one driving this car. Pick a better route. They want you to understand that your insecurities need to be acknowledged and dealt with, not ignored. And this helps to bring down the tower of disbelief that you have built around you out of whoever told you what. Doesn't matter at this point. Period at the end of that sentence, moving forward into another sentence, right? Beverly, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope it was helpful, friend. I appreciate your time and energy, and thank you for sharing that with me. I hope it was helpful. Thank you. Yes, come back and report when you have your house. I love it. All right, Melinda, you are next. Melinda is next, followed by Jane, Rebecca, Dana, and Jill. I have 3 spots left for today if you want to grab one. Hi, Melinda. I see you down there, Ms. Beck. I got you, girl. Ooh, your energy's excited. Your energy is excited, Melinda. I keep hearing it's like, all right, so I'm just going to jump right in. Melinda, as I come into your energy, I keep hearing like an excited kid in the background. They're like, oh my God, did you see that? Isn't that so cool? I can't believe it. You know, when your kid is excited about something and they want to tell you every little detail about it because they're so excited. There's something like that going on in your energy. There is something coming forward for me that feels almost unbelievable and very, very exciting. Okay. This feeling of, oh my gosh, can you believe it? Didn't you see that? Oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? It's like you finally saw a dinosaur in life or something like that. This is excited anticipation and a lot of momentum behind this. What I'm seeing now is a person on a raft in a rapid moving river. You are not unstable at all. There's a lot of momentum moving you in this direction. I do feel like there's a little bit of amazement in the way things work out, especially in the next few weeks. It feels like they're showing me a lot of resolution, a lot of tying up of loose ends. I see a lot of shoelaces being tied up. It's interesting because the shoes are being put on and tied. So a lot of times that's like, okay, it's time to go tie up loose ends. Here we go. Don't trip over old things. You know what I'm saying? I love how my guides are. I don't know specifically what it looks like, but I don't feel like this is a surprise at all. I feel like you feel this. You definitely must feel this in your energy because your guide, whoever is communicating with me, is so excited about it. There is a feeling of accomplishment and joy and celebration and coming home and all the good feels wrapped up in this. And again, the momentum is such that I can clearly feel it and see it. So either it's already started to happen or it's about to start to happen. This doesn't mean it's one big event. Often these manifestations are small unfoldings, a series of small events that lead to an overall something, right? How things just line up, right? That's what it feels like, but it leads to a large manifestation of some kind that, again, does not feel like a surprise at all, but almost surprising in the way it comes about. That's the best way I can explain it to you. Melinda, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. They want you to understand that your dreams and desires are much closer at hand than you think they are. This is the result of some healing that you have been doing on yourself, especially recently. The King of Pentacles comes forward to say, I have got your back and you have a stable ground on which to grow. So all lights are green. This involves a role switch of some kind. This is the sacral chakra. This means some role that you fulfill, some name tag that you wear is shifting along with whatever this manifestation is. Whatever this change is brings you back into a greater sense of balance in your energy, reminding you of how much you have overcome. Don't continue to focus on how much you had to overcome. Don't keep telling your old story in your new storyline, right? My guides want you to understand this has physical ramifications. You'll be able to see, feel, touch, taste this change, and it is guided highly by your intuition. It brings you to a place of celebration and joyous occasion, as well as family abundance and stability. This is taking you somewhere you've never been before, and I want to remind you and everyone else that unknown does not mean scary. It just means unknown. And remember, all possibility lives in the unknown. Ooh, goodness. That came out like hot lava. Melinda, thank you so much, friend, for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate it very, very much. And I hope it was helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jane, you are next. Come on down, Jane. I am excited to read for you. How good can it get? Exactly. Exactly. Jane, come on down. You're next. After Jane is Rebecca, Dana, and Jill. That is the list. You guys, I will be live tomorrow night on Facebook. Melissa Heinen. I always say her last name wrong. She's an animal intuitive. She and I do a live event once a month on a Wednesday evening. It is tomorrow. You can watch that for free through her Facebook channel. She's Melissa, Heynan, I believe. Animal Intuitive. You can find her on Facebook. Hi, Jenna. I see you. Is it Jenna or Jane? Did I write down the wrong thing? No, I got Jane. I'm looking for Jane. There you are. Okay, Jane. I got you. All right. Jane, I'm very excited to read for you. Do you prefer to be called Jenna? I don't have the link to give you, Deanna. I'm sorry. It's, I don't have that. I will try to post it on my Patreon page, which automatically posts to Facebook as soon as I get the link, but she has not sent it to me yet, so I can't do it yet. All right. Jane. Jane, when I tap into your energy, the first feeling that came up was some squeezy in the heart space. Okay. I kind of feel like there's some pretty different feeling that's going on right now. I know that sounds very generic because constantly we're healing and all the stuff, but this feels very specific and very squeezy. like it hurts. Whatever it is, it hurt. And I don't want to be flippant about it and dismiss it, whatever it is, but it hurt enough that it still has remnants in there, and it feels like they're kind of like triggers that come around every once in a while. So this must be old. It does feel like it's getting less and less and less. It just feels like it still gets stepped on every once in a while. I know that can be incredibly uncomfortable. And especially when you feel like you're having a great day or whatever, and things are going great. And then all of a sudden this gets stepped on and it's like, ew, ow, I don't like it. Yeah, I get it. But I also can clearly see that there's been a lot of healing done. And I think what they're trying to show me is this isn't something that's going to be never ending. Whatever this is, addressing it when it gets triggered, right? So if you're interacting with someone and it brings up this feeling of insecurity that you're trying to heal in your space, it's not about telling yourself it's bad that you're feeling insecure. It's about removing yourself from the feeling and stepping back and saying, I am feeling insecure right now. This is a temporary feeling. I can feel better. What is it that's making me feel insecure? Acknowledgement takes power away from a lot of things, okay? You know how the old exorcism videos, tell me your name. You're just exercising some lower feeling of frequency. It's not a demon. It's just a feeling, right? And all you're doing is letting that go. I do feel like there's this tendency to beat myself up about whatever this is. And I don't know if it was a decision that you made or something. It feels out of place, kind of like a kid taking the blame for their parents getting divorced. It is never the child's fault that the parents can't get it together. Never. And it feels almost like that, not that, but like that. I'm taking blame or responsibility for something that doesn't belong to me, and it's making. So whatever this is, they're asking you to let that part of it go. This is what my guides have to say, in addition to everything else I have already said. Jane, my guides want you to understand that there's a little bit of clouded judgment around the idea that you have to carry the weight of something that's not your responsibility, so to speak. Once you actually recognize and acknowledge this, what happens is it opens you up to seeing things through a new paradigm, the rose-colored glasses that you're supposed to see things with. This brings about a transition. This is the death card, letting you know that the old version of you is dying away so that a new version can come forward. This is that healing, right? The letting go of something that you are claiming responsibility to that you don't need to. My guides tell me that you have all the support you need right now to help you work your way through this. Just don't put too much pressure on yourself that it has to look or feel how anybody else is healing. My guides also want you to understand that the triggers that are being brought up around this are so that you can deal with it finally and let it go. It's like a hot air balloon with sandbags. You're trying to rise to your new frequency, bringing all this weight with you. This leads to a feeling of joyous occasion and victory in your space, as well as a feeling of resilience and the release of youthful emotions. I acknowledge and want you to acknowledge there's a lot of disappointment or frustration around whatever this is, but it's time to let it go, to put a period at the end of that sentence, to stop bringing your old story into your current story. King of Pentacles comes forward to say, I have your back. You're going to be okay. It's okay to do this for yourself, even though it feels selfish. I want to remind you that selfish is not a dirty word. It's just been taught to us that way by people who don't want to take care of themselves and feel better when you do it for them, conscious or not. Jane, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope that was helpful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Meg, good morning. Jane, I hope it was helpful. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Rebecca, you are next. MZ. Michael Ziegler. MZ. All right, I'm going to put Michael. And then I'm going to put MZ. All right. Jane, thank you so much. Becca, hi, friend. I see you. You are next. Jane, thank you very much. Becca, you are up. Then Dana, Jill, and Michael. All right, Becca. I do have 2 spots left, but only 2 spots. Becca, you've got yellow, 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 yellow for days, yellow for days. Friend, I am looking at a whole hella active sacral chakra, solar plexus. I apologize. Your solar plexus is the seat of how you see yourself. It's also the home of creative expression. There's a whole hella lot of activity in there. There is a slowdown in the exchange of the energy to the outside, though. I don't know. They're showing it to. So when I look at your throat, it's not a blockage. It is a traffic jam. There is some sort of self-doubt that's getting in the way of this expressive feeling that's trying to come forward. The solar plexus opening up into a better feeling of self. There's self-doubt, imposter syndrome, something here in that throat space that's holding that up a little bit. Maybe it's all the whys or hows. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Girl, sometimes it's not about figuring everything out before it happens. It's about allowing the flow of momentum to carry you forward into the easiest way possible. Manifestation is not magic. It is simply resonance and alignment, entrainment of your energy to that which feels better for you. There is a creative process trying to manifest physically for you. This feels as if it has something to do with either working for yourself or providing a new service or adding to something that you're already doing. I can't exactly see it because there's chunkiness here and here, and it's hard to get around the boulder in here, right? It's just squeezing out on the sides. This boulder feels like it's been there for a while, as if I've tried this before or something similar and it didn't work out, and now I have insecurity about it. Friend, I don't know what it is. I can't see it, but I can tell you that if you get rid of the doubt, you'll be fine. It feels to me like there's enough momentum to bring it forward. It feels very creative in nature, feels very physical in nature. It feels as if it has something to do with interacting, working with, or providing a service to someone else or someone's else. And while I can't say exactly what is, it feels good when I tap into it and I push forward like, ooh, what does this feel like? It feels good to do this. So whatever it is feeling very aligned. And it's not that it can't come forward. It's just that it's coming forward more slowly because there's too much resistance in the throat chakra. And a lot of times with something like this, that looks like coming up with all the excuses for why you think you can't do it, right? I don't know specifically, Becca, but that's what it feels like. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides are saying it's time to sit down and put in the work. Put in the work to bring forward this physical manifestation that you want for yourself. And while that may require a little bit of introspection, it opens your root up to provide stability and a solid base for walking into the brighter future you've been asking for. Kathy, I see you. One spot left, friends. My guides are asking you to release your insecurity around whatever this is and anchor in that balanced heart, because that's where you're going to find this new beginning, friend. I fully acknowledge that you feel vulnerable going through this. Of course you do. That's how we grow. My guides want you to allow yourself to see the world through the rose-colored glasses that you brought with you instead of the dirty glasses of society. This will bring forward a feeling of inner peace and help you to align more easily with the feeling of joyous occasion and celebration. You have a good, strong connection to your higher self. The biggest problem is your inner conflict, right? So it's nothing being perpetrated against you, to you, or anything like that. This is you doing it, friend. So they're encouraging you to let go of your imposter syndrome. Let go of your imposter syndrome. You can do it. It doesn't mean it's going to happen instantly, but it does mean that by taking small aligned steps towards the goal you want to have, you will reach the goal you want to have. But it may not look or be instant gratification, right? And we got to be careful that we don't get too tangled up in that. Becca, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I appreciate you, and I hope it was helpful, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Dana, you are up next. Come on down and say hello. Dana is next, followed by Jill, Michael, and Kathy. One spot left and one spot only. Thank you, Becca. I appreciate it. Hello, Dana. I am excited to read for you. Thank you for the opportunity and your patience and your time. Dana, as I come into your energy, the very first thing I see is a wheel that is spinning around, friend. There is some cycle that's coming back around. This feels like a cycle that's repeated multiple times in your life experience, but this one's different because the opportunity to break that cycle is present. I am not making any commentary on what exactly the cycle is, but to give you an example of what I mean, sometimes we find ourselves in relationships with people that is not exactly great. And the thing that we tend to do is blame the other person. And while the other person absolutely has ownership in some of the hot mess that is a bad relationship, we also have to take accountability for our part in things. And that's where the disconnect happens. I'm not saying you're doing that. However, What I am saying is this feels like the accountability coming forward, the acknowledgement of it, and the breaking of a cycle. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying it's a relationship, but I am saying that's what it feels like. I feel like this cycle has repeated not just in this life experience, but in other life experiences through different forms. And it is part of a karmic cycle that you are working out. Remembering, of course, that karma is not about retribution. It is simply about balance between two aspects of the same thing. To give you an example of how karma actually works, if you and I are both alive in this world and you unalive me, that shows complete disregard for the value of my human life. If we reincarnate together and I unalive you, now we have the same karma and nothing has been solved. Therefore, I would need to reincarnate in such a way that you would have to unconditionally care for me, a caregiver, a lover, or something to balance out the two extremes of that. Okay? So this feels like an opportunity being presented to you to break a cycle that repeats over and over in your environment. I don't know specifically what the cycle is, and I don't necessarily feel like it's super on the surface, like, oh, I'm aware of this. This feels covert, and it feels like there's an acknowledgement of the cycle that needs to happen in order for it to stop. But because of how far you've come recently, the acknowledgement is available to you. I hope that makes sense. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Dana, my guides are acknowledging there's manipulation in your space, and it's part of a cycle, and they need you to acknowledge that. While you have been putting off dealing with this, you have gotten stuck in this role. The sacral chakra comes forward to say this is an opportunity for you to step into a different role and break whatever cycle this is, allowing you to see the truth of the situation and your place in this world. This in return opens you up to a state of great expansion and stepping into your authentic self. Don't worry, because you do have all the tools and support you need, even if in the moment of the change, it doesn't quite feel like it. Don't let your ego and your surroundings trick you into thinking you aren't supported. My guides are asking you to do a little bit of introspection to figure out what this is and allow yourself to step into better alignment with your higher self, because that's where you're going to find that sense of stability, support, and everything that you're looking for. So just to round it out and put an exclamation point on your reading, this is the death card saying the old version of you, this old cycle is trying desperately to die away. You have to find a way to acknowledge and release whatever it is so that you can move forward into something that feels better, more aligned with you. Dana, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I hope that was helpful, friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo-wee, things are coming in fast today. All right. Thank you, thank you. Jill, you are up. Thank you, friend. Jill, you are up next. Hey, Amanda, welcome in. Jill is next, followed by Michael and Kathy. Thank you, friends. I appreciate all of your support, you guys. It's been a lovely day so far. We have one spot left. If anybody wants to grab that last spot, now's a great time. Yes, like Whitney is telling you there in the chat, there's lots of ways to get in contact or work with me and my energy. This is simply the easiest way for me to reach people. My goal is, I've said this many times before, to get my YouTube passive income up to a point that I can offer these readings for free to all of you who subscribe to my channel as often as I can. To do that, though, you have to watch my videos, do the little promote thing that they give you, or cheer it or whatever it is, and build that up. That's it. You don't have to pay anything. Just watch the ads or let the ad play out, and that helps me. It boosts me in the algorithm and all kinds of things. Yeah, Renee, a lot of overlap in readings. Absolutely. That happens a lot. We're a collective energy here in this collective YouTube channel room. So that does happen a lot. I love it. I love it. All right, Jill, I got you. Peace, love, and harmony 8. I love it. So Jill, when I come into your energy, the very first thing I see is a child. I think this is you. So the child is kind of in their room by themselves, and it feels like they're playing by themselves, like from the outside, they're playing by themselves. And I'm not seeing this as actually playing by themselves. There feels like a good connection here. So what I'm seeing is, as a child, there was a strong connection between you and your higher self. I don't know what form this took. Sometimes kids have this as imaginary friends, as a very active imagination, all of the above, some of the above, none of the above. I don't know exactly how it worked for you, but they're showing me a very strong connection at a young age. I'm seeing time fast forward and a timeline pass by, and a feeling of this piece of myself had to be put away or put on a shelf of some kind, likely for no reason other than life was happening. But it also feels like this has come back around relatively recently, not like yesterday, but relatively recently. It feels like this connection is starting to reestablish itself. For me, this energy has a really high frequency to it, and I associate that frequency with the angels only because, and not in any kind of religious sense, it is a frequency that has never incarnated in a physical form, and I don't have a better word for that. Whatever frequency this is, it's high frequency in nature. I cannot sustain that frequency for very long. I do feel like this is where you communicate from. My guides are showing me like a broadband connection, like a channel of some kind that either you are not recognizing fully or you're not utilizing fully, or maybe both. Sometimes we discount it. We say, oh, that I'm not a channel. That's just my thoughts or your imagination. But friends, everyone in the room, I want to remind you that source will reach out to you through the thing you have the least resistance to. Your imagination is often the first step for that because you don't have any resistance to that. Your higher self will not argue with you to try to get you to listen to anything. It's not going to fight that fight. Why? Because it has infinity time. Why would it fight with you now? Silly. So it's patient. It will wait for you to come around. And I feel like this is what's happening relatively recently, not yesterday, but relatively recently. What they are showing me, though, is that you are, again, underutilizing or not tapping in as much as you could. I don't know how to tell you to do that. But what I can tell you is from my own experience, when I stopped trying to get everyone else to understand what I was receiving and literally just kept getting messages for myself, I didn't feel the need to prove it or defend it to anyone. It changed the way I receive, and I received a lot more clearly. It is only recently that I've started sharing my channeled messages. As you guys who follow me know that, I rarely share them unless they are very impactful. I get them every day. That doesn't mean I'm sharing them every day. This is part of the process of attuning and getting confident and that sort of thing, so that when you do share it and someone challenges it, you don't fold on your information. Their ability to accept or not accept what you are offering should not change the truth of the message. So it doesn't matter if they get it or not. You know what I'm saying? Jill, this is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. My guides want you to understand that there's a little bit of overwhelm in your energy, as if I feel like I need to prove myself and what I'm receiving to someone, maybe you. They want you to understand you have all the tools you need to be successful with this. You're just sort of talking yourself out of it. And I feel like that comes from outside of you, as if you've had an experience where you have to constantly feel like you have to prove yourself, but I can't say for sure. My guides want you to understand that once you let go of this, things start to change very quickly because you step into your sense of empowerment instead of giving power away. This requires a lot of compassion for yourself, and they are acknowledging that it's not necessarily easy, right? However, through this conflict, you establish the release that you need in order to put back your balance. This is bringing forward some truths about your connection and helping you to make better decisions for yourself moving forward, helping you to manifest this connection more clearly. So again, the feeling is this connection you had when you were younger got put to the side because life was lifing. You're being asked to reestablish this connection now, to let go of your doubt and just let it happen. And then when you do that, the feeling, the fight you have with it, or I want this to happen a certain way, that dissolves itself because you let go of the resistance. I got to take my slippers off. Hold on. Jill, thank you very much for allowing me to read for you. I hope that was helpful, my friend. Thank you. Jess, you got that last spot. Jessica, list is full for today, friends. I will be back on Thursday. All right, Michael. No, please do not send a payment through YouTube. I'm going to tell you why. If you feel so inclined to send a gift, I absolutely love that. But please don't do it in exchange for reading, because YouTube gets 48% of that. So as much as I appreciate it, YouTube gets 48% of it. Hello, Kentucky Cowboy. I'm excited to read for you. Do you prefer to be called MZ? Or is Michael okay? How do you prefer to be referred to? It really is coming out really fast. Yeah. Michael, I'm just going to get started. When I look at your energy, friend, there's a lot around you that feels, forgive me for saying this, off world. There's a frequency that's part of your base resonance that feels like it's been there for a while, and it is attuned to something off world, something in our environment, but off world. I know how strange that sounds. I know how weird it feels to say it. So I can only imagine how weird it feels to hear it. But again, like the other person earlier in the readings that had this tie to the blue system, there's some tie for you to something outside of Terra, outside of Earth. And there is this feeling of acknowledgement of this connection getting stronger, as if I feel the resonance of this getting closer. There's also a deep knowing that feels like, I hate to use the word implanted, but you put it there. It wasn't like implanted, but before you came here, you came with this knowledge of this is happening. This is what it is. When this happens, and I'm assuming that you're all for aliens, because based on what I'm looking at your energy, I can only go in that direction. It feels like disclosure when this happens in its full entirety, that there is a role for you to help with the calm in the storm. Because this is part of your energetic signature, you're not going to have the same freak out as everybody else. Not to say you're not going to freak out a little bit, because I think even those of us who think we are as prepared as possible are going to have a freak out, because there's a very big difference between actually seeing and thinking, right? So there is a feeling that when this happens, which I clearly believe is happening in the next year and a half, I think there is a role for you of calmness in the storm, of steady in the storm, of, hey, I've got the answer. Just listen to me for a second. And while that reach doesn't feel like it covers states, it covers enough of a section. They're literally showing me Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but in Guardians of the Galaxy, towards the end, the ship is crashing, and Groot turns into this giant ball of tree and protects all his friends. Yes, Groot is just process, and I'm not saying you're going to be destroyed in the process at all, but you're kind of like that, growing protection around a lot of people, not because it's bad, but because fear is a killer. Fear is a killer. Okay. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Michael, my guides want you to understand there's dissension coming. I know you can feel it. They want you to understand that your job in that dissension is mental clarity. Can we just get a confirmation? Hell yeah, on that one. I love it when my guides do that. You, my friend, have learned a hard lesson of self-sufficiency over time, which has prepared you for everything that's coming forward now. My guides acknowledge that there is a lot of spiritual connection in your energy, but they also acknowledge that there's a lot of consequence of physical reality around you. You have a deep connection to your higher self, and the changes that are coming forward quickly are something that I feel like you already know about, have prepared for in whatever way you can, and is important that you're here for this, right? My guides are asking you to reassess how you look at things. Instead of allowing the chaos to get the best of you, they want you to see yourself as the light in the storm, which is what you are. My guides also want you to understand that you are walking into a state of progress, which is taking you somewhere you have never been before. Unknown doesn't mean scary, just means unknown. That's also where all the possibility lies. So as you move forward, what you're going to be able to do is help people deal with things that they have been avoiding dealing with, so that when this happens, they don't have that feeling of, I need to control everything. Right? The restlessness that you feel is being acknowledged, and that's simply because you're closer to where you're going than where you are. I know, Michael, how weird it feels for me to say that. So I can only imagine how weird it feels to hear that. How do private sessions take place? So service is definitely something that's important. It takes place over a platform that's very similar to Zoom. So you need to have good service in order to do that. They're not over Zoom, but it's a very similar service to Zoom. It's HIPAA compliant. It's made for healthcare, so that's why I use it. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. Have a great afternoon. Thank you. Thank you. Kathy, you are up. After Kathy is Jessica, and then we are done for the day, friends. I'm excited. I am so grateful to have spent this time with you here. The readings have been wonderful. I hope you have found them to be as much as a delight as I have. Kathy, you are up, and then Jessica will round out our morning. Come on down, Kathy. Say hello. Let us know where you are. I am excited to be here with you. All right. I am looking for Kathy. Come on down, Kathy. You are next. Come on down. You are next, Kathy. Kathy, where are you, Kathy? Kathy, where are you? All right, Jessica, are you here? Are you here, Jessica? Say hello if you are. Come on down, Jessica. We're going to put a pin in Kathy. Hopefully she comes back or I see her soon. Jessica, you are next. Hello, Jess. Hello, Jess. I see you. We're going to go ahead and do Jess's reading. Kathy, if you're here, stay here. Don't go anywhere. I'll do yours next. I just don't want to keep delaying. All right, Jess. So Jess, when I look at your energy, the very first thing that stands out to me is it looks like a slowdown in that throat chakra. It feels as if there was a lot of momentum behind a manifestation and it suddenly got the brakes put on it. The brakes being put on it feels like something unexpected, maybe derailing it. So it can be hard for me to explain what this is like, but the feeling I have is like I had plans to start a new job. Let's just pick this. Plans to start a new job. Everything's going great. I'm going along fine. I did all the stuff. I filled out all the paperwork. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to start my first day, and I didn't get a schedule. And then I don't get a schedule. And now there's a delay and I don't know what's going on. And it feels very unsure, although I thought for sure this was going to work out. I don't know what's happening. And then a fear starts to creep in. If I call, what if they tell me I don't really have the job? What if it's not real? What if this? And then fear takes over. So I don't know specifically what it was, but I feel like telling you it's not what you think it is and that it's getting back on track, that things sometimes have little redirections as they make their way into your space. So, yeah, just something to think about. I feel like this is a physical manifestation that is coming forward. Again, has a feeling of sort of moving my body. So I don't know if this is a new job or a new location. something physically moving, and there's a sense of I was moving along, I had great momentum behind this, and then like a left turn came out of nowhere, and now I'm sort of getting into the spiral of why isn't it working out? Why isn't it working out? And there's this feeling of not wanting you to get called down the spiral. That sometimes there are redirections and you have to just look at them like plot twist or whatever it is. Don't let it like pull you down the rabbit hole. This is just temporary. You're getting right back on track. It's just part of something working itself out of your energy. This is what my guides have to say in addition to everything else I've already said. Jess, my guides want you to understand you are literally standing at the edge of the pathway. Do you see this? You are moving forward. My guides want you to understand that you have everything you need to be successful with this. Even though it feels like there's a bump in the road, they're just letting you know that it's something working its way out of your route, like a last little piece of frequency that doesn't resonate with where you want to go. My guides tell me that this brings forward a sense of mental clarity. Oh, there it is. Once you work this out, oh, there's the clear path. There's the way I wanted to go. Again, it feels like a trigger of some kind or a left turn of some kind that kind of threw you off about whatever this physical manifestation is. My guides want you to understand that you are going through a transition. This is the death card letting you know that the old version of you is dying away and a new version is finding its way to the surface. My guides are telling me that you have everything you need to be successful with this. It leads to a sense of victory as well as a sense of empowerment. But again, they're saying there's like a redirect happening right now in your energy that feels like a consequence of something, not something you did wrong, but something that is helping you to better align with something that's more resonant for you. It's the best way I can explain it. So what they're asking you to do is don't let that make you change your mind or back away from something. You want to hang on to your conviction behind where you're going and what you're doing, because it's still aligned. It's just there's something that had to sort of work its way out of it somehow. I don't know. Jess, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you, friend. I hope it was helpful. I am still looking for Kathy. Is Kathy here? It is a good thing, Mike. You shouldn't want to need it. Good. Kathy, are you here, friend? Have not seen her. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see if I click this and it hangs up. I'm sorry, but I'm looking for something here. No. Let me go back here and look. I got Mike, Renee, Kentucky Cowboy, Like a Mom, Mike, Sandy, Peace, Love, and Harmony, Beekeeper, Jess, Mike, Renee, The Spens, Have Fun in Nature, Jenna, Stillness in the Storm, Melinda, Amy, Sandy, Melinda, Amy, Renee. I'm going back and looking for Kathy. I don't see her even in the chat, so I'm not sure where she is. It's hard for me to do a reading on someone that I can't focus on, so I don't want to do it. Kathy with a K. Come on down. All right. So I don't know where Kathy is. So what I'm going to do it right here on the live. So there is no question. I'm going to find her payment and we are going to refund her. Kathy, are you here? Last call. Last call for Kathy. Last call for Kathy. All right. I am refunding her right now. It is live. You guys can see that I have refunded her. I have issued her a refund. So there's no question about it. All right. You guys, thank you so much for being here with me and sharing the day. I'm going to play this song to play us out a little bit. Oh, wow. Look at you out here hydrated, aligned, and glowing. You know, you really have some nerve. Please. Says the girl radiating like her aura just got a raise. You trying to start something with me? You know what? Maybe I am. Oh, okay. I see how it is. Well, let's compliment him.
I hope your iced coffee hit with every sip. Matter of fact, I hope you trip and land on a money clip. I hope your favorite jeans fit right. Even when you out here eating anything you like, I hope your rent gets paid from the sky. I hope your balance look like a phone number every time. I hope your struggles all stay in the rear. Matter of fact, I hope you age backwards every year. I hope you laugh so hard that your tears run dry and the things on your vision board come to life. I hope you heal so well that your grandma yelled, "Go ahead, pop off from the astral realm." I hope you never need to hustle just to win, and your name pacing rooms you ain't even in. I hope your tea only spills when it's sweet and every bit of this.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
The best.